Now to a remarkable sporting journey. Millie Tapper from Hamilton is the first Paralympian to ever reach an Australian sporting team for the able-bodied. She's a talented table tennis player, in spite of being born with nerve damage to her right arm, which makes the all-important art of serving quite a challenge. Late this afternoon, Millie Tapper was named in the table tennis team for the Glasgow Commonwealth Games, and she now has the Rio Olympics in her sights. Our Guy Stainer met her and was game enough to take her on at the table.
This is standard backhand, forehand footwork. An exercise can go anywhere really from between 7 to 15 minutes.
15 minutes sounds like a long time to be bashing a table tennis ball from side to side, until you realise Millie Tapper's been doing this for 16 years.
When I was 12 years old, after I won my first tournament in Ballarat, I reckon from then on, there was something that twigged inside that I really loved it.
And now, at the age of 24, she's achieved her table tennis dream of qualifying for the Commonwealth Games.
Far out, I was stoked that I got there. It still hasn't really sunk in because we still got several months before the Games and everything, but I mean, it feels nice knowing, after 16 years of putting everything into it and sacrifices, from me and my family and a lot of people around me, it's just nice to know that, dreams do come true and hard work does pay off.
And she's had to work even harder than most to fulfil her ambition. She's even had to teach herself how to throw the ball in the air. Millie Tapper isn't just another elite Australian athlete, she's also had to overcome a disability.
I was born with obstetric brachial plexus, also known as Erb's palsy, and basically I was a very large baby when I was born, 11 pound 2, and my mum gave birth to me naturally, and as a result I got stuck and they pulled me out by my right arm, which tore the nerves in my right shoulder, and 3 months old they took the nerves out of the back of both my legs and joined back into my shoulder, so it had some movement in it now, but yeah, it's a lot weaker, a lot smaller, but I can still do everything I want to do, so it's all good.
After finishing third in the recent Commonwealth Games selection trials, Millie Tapper has become the first Australian Paralympian to be nominated for an able-bodied team.
I have adjusted rules, so for example serving, you have to serve with an open palm. I can't physically open my palm to serve that way, so I alter it to the way that I can.
It doesn't affect your ball toss in any way?
Yeah, it does. Pretty much every serve or every ball toss that I do will change slightly, and I have to be able to adjust myself when I serve to the ball toss that I do.
It's only a disadvantage if you let it be a disadvantage, I mean, if you wake up in the morning and say, hey, I'm going to get the job done today, get to work and off you go. Or you could be the second character who gets up in the morning and says, hey, my ball toss is no good, my body's no good. I'm an AWD athlete trying to compete with able-bodied athletes. This sucks, I'm not going to make it. Or you could be the alternative, She chooses to just get on with the job.
I think it's fantastic for the Paralympic movement that Millie's made the able-bodied team for the Commonwealth Games. Obviously, she's a quality athlete, and I think it just gives some credibility to Paralympic sport.
You can talk about role models, and she probably doesn't know it, but just the fact that how hard she worked to achieve her goals is something that kids around her can see, and as coaches you can point your finger and say, hey, you want to make it? That's what's required,
I'm able to show that even though I may have a disability, I still believe I'm just as good as everyone else, and yeah, I got to show that a couple of weeks ago, and now I get to be a part of the Australian able-bodied team, so yeah, it's quite exciting.
You're not just as good as everyone else, you're a hell of a lot better.
Well, yeah, some might say that, but I mean, yeah, like if I can get better, I'm going to continue to try and even get better still.
And getting better means after the Commonwealth Games, Millie Tapper will set her sights on being the first Australian Paralympian to become an Olympian. Another third in the national trials in 2016 would have her bound for Rio. 7:30 Victoria thought a variety of opponents could assist her Olympic preparation.
I do have to warn you, I am undefeated in my family, okay? So you think you can take me on?
It's going to be tough by the sounds of things, but bring it on.
Bring it on.
Tapper survived being softened up by a brutal physical onslaught.
I'll be going home with welts on.
Before dissecting the game of her more experienced opponent.
Let's dance, Guy.
This was a rare opportunity for someone who's played socially in a lot of garages around Melbourne to get a taste of elite competition.
I found your weakness.
When you found it. How hard were you looking for?
And the main difference, apart from skill, is an incredible amount of spin. Just returning serve proved near impossible. For the record, 7:30 Victoria lost 12-10 with an 8-point head start.
Thank you for the lesson, Millie.
No problem, thank you very much. Thanks.
And with one annoying distraction out of the way, Millie Tapper could return her A game to the table and her focus to Glasgow.